Alright, I want to talk about setting up bleed in Illustrator. I have another video about InDesign, so if you haven't watched that one, bleed's very important. So if we look at this in presentation mode, this is the size of the document, and we want to cut this off. So if we just printed this out right to the edge, and we X-Acto knifed this here, there'd be a high likelihood of having either a little white trim mark here or cutting into some of our artwork here. So printing with the bleed, setting up a bleed will help prevent that. So bleed will give us some wiggle room. So as we go over with solid color or artwork as it's doing here, we want to establish a bleed. So the bleed in Illustrator is this red bar. So here's how you set it up. If you go up to File, Document Setup, right here on the General it says Bleed. I recommend you establish an 1/8 inch, which is 0.125 inches around. We just say OK. And now we want to make sure our artwork goes off to that edge so that when we print it, we print a little extra to give us some wiggle room when we're cutting these things out, which is super handy. It's actually paramount if you send something to a press to have this. This is common in that world. So in Illustrator we don't export it, we do a save as. So we're going to go save as and then choose the PDF option. Okay, and then if we look in the settings, one is marks and bleeds. So we want to have our trim marks on, and we want to use the document bleed settings here. Okay, so I already had one made. Now, unlike InDesign will include the bleed marks. This one doesn't. So this is the crop marks, but if you look, the overlap is there. So giving you really important wiggle room for when you cut these things out. So please, if you haven't set things to print yet, please set up your bleeds real quick. That way you'll have an easier go of cutting these out. Rock on.